What's going on YouTube? It's me, First Review, back in here for another video. Today I got something that I love and I thought, you know what, since we're doing the new format, let's test out the new format. Jollibee. Oh yeah. As anyone who's watched my videos know, I love Jollibee. I've always loved Jollibee since the first time I had it. I was just like, you know what? Let me get it again. It's a new format. We're testing out something new. Let me get something good to eat. And that made me land on Jollibee. Look at that. I definitely need a bigger desk, and one day I will get a bigger desk, but for now, this is gonna work. But before we get into this, remember to like, comment, share, subscribe, and comment down below if anything you'd like me to talk about, any food you want me to try, I'm down to try it. As always, timestamps down below. Good enough. First bite. So good. So good. It's like my fourth Jollibee video, and I can tell you, I could care less, just because I like it so much. I'm really hungry. That's why I'm just eating right now. But it is my birthday. Not today, but technically my birthday hasn't even come yet. My birthday is in like a few days. Today's the 4th. My birthday is on Tuesday. But by the time this video comes out, it'll be Wednesday. So technically my birthday passed when you guys hear this video. And I am turning 29 years old. Yeah, the big 29 years old. And now that my 20s are coming to an end, which is very sad and makes me very sad to think about, I've lived a lot of experiences and I've done a lot of things, both good and bad. And I kind of just want to kind of reflect on how it's been in my 20s. For me personally, my 20s have been like a really big learning experience, I hope. Well, not that I hope, but I definitely have learned a lot from my 20s. Because I made a lot of mistakes in my 20s. As a matter of fact, I still continue to make a lot of mistakes, but I feel like I'm old enough now, and I've been through so much where I'm able to just kind of avoid some of those mistakes right in their entirety. Whether it be financial mistakes or your mistakes in relationships. The mistakes in friendships, I've done it all. I just want to outline some of the biggest things, mistakes I've made in my 20s that I've learned so far. So the first big mistake I made, we'll go financially, is going into something. It could be school, it could be like a new job, it could be buying a new car, anything like that without a plan. I went to school. School isn't for everyone. Okay, but it is for a lot of people. It wasn't for me. And I think I knew that, but I still wanted to do it. And I'm still going to go back and finish my degree because I haven't finished my degree. But that is something that I really do want to complete. It's just right now it's not economically possible for me. When it does become economically possible, hopefully by the end of this year or early next year, I'll be able to get it. And by it, I mean my degree. And I just went. And you know what, maybe school would have worked better for me if I knew what program I wanted to do. But unfortunately, I just didn't know what I wanted to do. I went to sociology, I went to criminology, and that wasn't what I wanted to do. I feel like I would have done better in just like finance or maybe programming or economics, like anything like that, marketing. Like 100% would have rather done that. Because remember, school is one of the biggest, earliest investments you'll ever make. So please just remember that before you go into school, anything. Make sure it's what you want to do and it's something you're going to complete to the end. The next big mistake I did was buying a car. And like I said, no plan. I got a new job. At the time I was working at Rogers, and I had just gotten the job, and I was like, you know what? I want a new car. So I just went to the dealership. I went to the Hyundai dealership and saw the first Genesis I saw, bought it. Like, a $24,000 car. Boom, I just went and bought it. For what reason? I didn't even know anything about the car. I just thought it looked nice and it had a nice red leather interior, and I went and got it. See, it's like things like that you can't be doing. You need to make a plan. And remember, a car is a depreciating asset, right? If I save my money on paying off that car into those car payments and put into something else, I'd be so far ahead, right? And at the time, I ignored my debt for the longest time. I put money towards my car payments because I had to, but I was spending like $900 a month on my car. I could put that into something else. I could have put that back into my school debt. And through every trial and tribulation I've been through, I never changed my spending, right? And that caused me to be in a lot of debt. Obviously, these aren't good things. These aren't good things. You shouldn't be doing those things, right? So adjust for lifestyle inflation. Don't purchase big items without like actually economically being able to do it and without making a plan, because these things matter. And just pay off your debt. If you have a substantial amount of debt with like a high interest rate, like 10%, 11%, 12%, 14%, 20%, like a credit card, pay that off first. I know it can be hard, but pay it off first. My fellow Ontarians, people who are from Ontario, if you have OSAP, every single person I've talked to who has OSAP does not know about the repayment assistance plan. It's called RAP. Apply for it. If you're still paying off your debt, it'll help you. If the first half of it is like interest repayments and the second half is them like helping you pay it off or something like that. Definitely look into that. Ooh, so much. Ooh. Aside from that, like, I'm definitely the type of person. I'm still like it to an extent, but not like it as much as I used to be. Where if I was in a relationship or anything like that, I would ignore my friends. Or not that I ignore my friends, but I wouldn't really see my friends too much. As much as being in a new relationship is exciting, that's not something you can do. That's not something. Well, it's something you can do, but it's not really something you should do. Like, you should always make time for your friends, your family, things like that, because those things also provide you happiness. Because if you put all your time to one person, that's where you're spending all your time, where you're getting all your joy. When they leave, it's suddenly all your joy feels like it's gone, right? And you can't be doing that. You need to kind of spread it out. You need to find joy in other things other than the significant other. You need to spend time with your friends, your family, because then they'll be like, okay, well, you're leaving because of this person. Well, what about us, right? Another is to not take people for granted. Like, you shouldn't take people for granted, your family or your friends, anyone. When you take people for granted, they'll start to not feel appreciated. And when they don't feel appreciated, they'll leave. And then when they leave, suddenly you'll be left with like nothing and no one. That's one thing I learned. And I lost so many friends that way. I lost friends making like probably the worst decisions I could have ever made. Choosing love over friendships and myself. That's still something I'm trying to learn how to like conquer right now. Is choosing yourself over love. But it's like really hard sometimes because a lot of times the love you get from the other person is the only love you're receiving, right? Like, if you're not giving yourself self-love and you don't know how to love yourself, you'll feel empty without the other person because that's the only source of love you're getting. And then it can start affecting like other things in your life, right? That's how depression starts. That's how your mental health starts getting affected. And trust me, what I've learned making these poor decisions is that at some point in time, it's going to start weighing down on you to the point where you just like have to reflect on your life. And that's where I've kind of been at for a while. And maybe you'll hit it sooner than me. Maybe you'll hit it later than me. Maybe you've already hit it, right? But the amount of times recently where I've just been, you know, up at night just thinking about all like the things I've done, all the things I learned, it keeps you up, right? But at the same time, it's like, okay, what did I learn from this? What can I do to make this better? What can I do to make the next time, the next instance, the next day better? And with all that brainstorming, you come up with answers. Like, you come up with, oh, maybe I could do this better. Maybe I could do this better. Like, I've heard a lot of my friends, and I think about it all the time. I think about it all the time. And it also helps you think about, like, yourself and who you are, right? You guys ever, like, make a mistake or do something wrong to someone, then you sit there afterwards and you just wonder, just like, why did I do that? Like, no, really. Why did I do that? The answer may shock you, or the lack of answer may shock you too. Through my whole 20s and my late teens, I've had like a lot of family problems, and I've had like a lot of hate towards certain people. At a certain point, I was just like, okay, I need to stop hating, because the hating weighs you down. Honestly, weighs you down. And when you think about it, you start hating someone and you kick them out of your life, right? They're gone. They're not gonna know anything about it. They're not gonna care. After a while, they'll stop caring. But you still hold that hate in your heart, and you're still gonna sit there with it. It'll eat at you. It'll eat you alive. And that's something that I'm experiencing now, where I'm just like, you know what? I can't do this anymore. Like, I can't hate anymore. I need to like fix it. I need to be okay. All right? I want to be happy. I don't want to be resentful. I don't want to be hateful. I don't want to like hurt anyone. And I don't want to be hurt. Because I didn't have the best childhood growing up. And I didn't have the best teenage years either. And it was like, I didn't know what to do. Like, I kind of just lived in the moment without thinking about the future. And I feel like that was a really big mistake for me, because right now I'm in the future of what, like, when I think about the past, I would be thinking about myself now. When I was 18 years old, I wouldn't think about myself when I was 28, which is the problem. Because now I'm in this position, and I'm thinking right now, when I was 18, when I was in high school, thinking back to how do I want my life to be in 10 years. You should think about how you want your life to be in 10 years, right? And your plan will always change. My plan always changes. Your path will always change. But at the same time, it's like you're trying to actively move towards a goal instead of just living day to day, right? There was a quote I heard, and it was like, if you ever want to make God laugh, tell him your plan, or tell him you have a plan, or something like that. Because things really go as planned. However, I feel like if I had a plan, and even if it diverted, at least I would be somewhere that isn't like in such a negative spot. Like, not saying I'm in a negative spot right now, but like if I were to be, I feel like if I had a plan, I wouldn't be, right? So I'm not saying to plan out your whole life, but it's good to at least make a plan, right? It's good to think about these things. So Just to recap, because the video is done, I finished the food. Good as always. Just have a plan when you want to make a big investment. Start investing though. Always remember to invest, like monetarily. Invest in yourself. Investing in yourself is the biggest investment you can make, and I wish I learned that earlier, right? So invest in yourself. Invest into like the stocks or anything else you see growth in. Make a plan. If you want to go to school, go to school. Just know it's what you want to do. It's okay if you change your mind, but just, mitigate some risk that way, right? Take time for yourself, take time for your friends, take time for family. Don't spend it all on one person in one place. Try to find joy in the little things, because, joy is kind of hard to find nowadays. I remember to just move with love and like care and compassion towards like everyone around you. Like, don't live like hate. Don't do any of that, because that's what my 20s was like filled with, and I'm now trying to move out of it going into my 30s, right? And I feel like I wish I just learned it earlier, but I didn't. But maybe like the few of you who watch this video can hear me and then be like, oh, you know what? That's actually a good point. I'm not the best at articulating my feelings or articulating what I want to say, just like off the rip, like how I am. I'm better at writing it. But then if I write it and I say it, it'll sound robotic, and I'll probably just go off the script anyway. So that's that. That was Jollibee. Delicious as ever. Jollibee out of 10. Remember to like, comment, share, subscribe. Leave a comment down below if anything you want me to try, anything you want me to talk about. Check out the suggested videos on the side. And yeah, this was Jollibee. Peace.